Hello and welcome to Astrology Updates with Gretchen Hidell. This is the week of April 16th to April 22nd. This is a very busy astrological week this week, and it starts on Sunday, Easter Sunday, with Venus forming a positive sextile with Mars. Now Venus is romance and sensuality, and Mars is passion and sexuality. So those two together, and they're forming a positive sextile, means that basically that could be a really nice day for romance and pleasantries. For sure, it's Easter Sunday, so if you celebrate that, it could also help us to get along with family members. Even though this is a romantic thing, this also helps us with love and love and love. So it could give us a better, hopefully a better day if you have to deal with some family. And sometimes that's a fun thing, and sometimes that can be not a fun thing. So hopefully that will help us. On Monday, the 17th, the Sun is going to form a positive trine with Saturn. Sun is in Aries and Saturn is in Sagittarius. Now, this is really going to help us to buckle down, get busy, get back to work, get focused, even if maybe we don't feel like it. This is a great day for getting things done. The nickname of Saturn is the taskmaster. So if you can think about that, that can be quite a productive day. The moon is going to be in Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn that day. So it's kind of a double bubble there. Two very Capricorn Saturn energy will help us to get things done and accomplished. Tuesday, the moon is still in Capricorn, but there's going to be a highlighting of that T-square that's been going on. You know, the one I've been talking about with Jupiter and Uranus, and then focusing on Pluto. So we might have another resurge of that crazy political energy that we've been having and going on in the background, talking about terrorism, talking about nuclear energy, all this types of stuff. It's just it's not fun. But as we move into the midweek on Wednesday, we'll have the last quarter of the moon cycle, which is nice. And then we move, the sun's going to start to move through its journey, its month-long journey, in the sector of Taurus. Now, we have a couple of planets on the move this week. So when I'm talking about that, that just basically means that that planet is going to be in that sector in your chart. Now, when I say in your chart, you want to know what area that planet is falling within to know how that will affect you on a personal level. But I will tell you that Taurus is definitely material oriented, it's earthy, see it, hear it, touch it, feel it, smell it. That's very Taurus. Taurus is practical, likes stability, likes things to be organized and, whatever. So when we talk about the sun moving into this sector of Taurus for a month, we know that we're going to have one of those flavors, the Taurus flavor, sort of going in the backdrop of the universe. And this is a time for us to really concentrate and think about, how am I handling my finances and what am I doing, and, all those types of things. Now, as we go into April 20th and April 21st, really starting from Wednesday to Friday, it's very busy astrologically. Whenever that happens, it's kind of, how it will affect you on a personal level is really, I love being able to have these energies that are really clear cut, but sometimes they're not. And so it means some people are having good time and some people are having a not so good time. But I'll just explain the basic nature of what's happening. We're going to have a lot of mercurial energy, meaning that there's going to be a focus on transportation and also communication. Now, transportation, we might hear of some kind of, something going on, hang-ups, delays, hopefully not an accident or any kind of big thing. But whenever Mercury's retrograde, of course, that happens. Now, when Mercury's retrograde, it's going backward. So it's actually on Thursday going to back up into the sun. And so Mercury in Taurus, and now the sun is just turned into Taurus. So we're going to have that is going to happen as a conjunction on overnight on Thursday at 1:54 a.m. Eastern time. And so during this period of time, this span of time, Wednesday into Thursday, we're going to be again having a highlight of that Taurus energy, and also the ability to have some blessings potentially in our area of communication. So if you have to give a presentation or do some sort of teaching, something with communications, that's a great day. Also, too, on that day, Mercury is going to still keep going backward after it hits the sun in Taurus. Then it's going to go backward. It's not literally hitting it, by the way, but I'm just saying as it touches it, then it's going to go back into the sign of Aries. Now, Mercury was in the sign of Aries during the middle of March. I think it was 13th until 31st. So we're going to have a up of that, a repeat. And so when it comes to Mercury and how that was functioning in your chart in the area, in the sector of Aries, that's definitely going to, again, Aries is a warlike sign because it's ruled by Mars, which is a warlike planet. So sometimes it can be overly aggressive, but also too, it's pioneering energy. It's starting new things. It's being outspoken. And so we're going to have another passage way through that because we need to repeat those lessons. That's all that means basically, is we're repeating those lessons of Mercury and Aries. Speaking of retrogrades, oh my goodness, this has been the theme, hasn't it? I mean, really, in the month of April, we're going to have 5 retrograde planets. Now, Venus last week just stopped being retrograde and it went direct. So now we have Pluto going retrograde in Capricorn. Now that's retrograde for like half the year anyway. It's a normal occurrence. Pluto retrograde in Capricorn, that's a normal occurrence. But for sure we'll feel that, especially for like the first week that it's in there. And then since it's retrograde for half the year, it kind of falls into the background. It falls just, it becomes part of the landscape all of a sudden. It's like it's like when you buy a new couch, I always say, and you really admire that new couch, and then all of a sudden the couch is no longer new and it's just another piece of furniture. That's what it's like. So the first week of retrograde, that's when we really feel it. Pluto being in Capricorn, again, we're talking about power struggles. We might be hearing of terrorism, nuclear energy, all those types of things. On a personal level, Capricorn is definitely related to business, being a CEO, being organized, having lists, getting, wanting to really come up with some sort of a system. And what happens when things go retrograde is it peels back a layer. And then we go, wow, that's not working. Darn, what do we do about this? And so the retrograde is to peel back a layer and then we'll fix it, and then hopefully it'll be better than even before. But that's the purpose of retrogrades, is for us to look at things a little bit more closely, and sometimes it reveals things that are maybe broken or not quite working as well as they could. That's why, even though retrogrades are a pain and people don't like them, they actually do serve a really good function. So we're going to have that all on Thursday. Then Friday, it continues. Mars moves into Gemini. So here we're having, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, right? So here we're having another mercurial energy. This is a really strong week of Mercury and even secondarily Saturn, I would say. But Gemini is the sign that basically we think about Gemini as being social. It's the twins. It's an air sign. And really it's about friendships and our social circles, how we move, amongst them. Social media, it really is like kind of a Gemini thing, I think. And so Mars is going to be moving into that sector. Mars is how we act. It's our action. It's our motivation. It's our drive and ambition. So we might be much more socially oriented right now. Now, what if you said to me, well, Gretchen, I'm an introvert. I don't really like any of that stuff. Well, maybe it means that during this period of time, By the way, this is happening up until June 4th. So I'll say, well, you might have a couple extra parties that you get invited to, or a couple extra outings. Go. Because this is your time to go and for us to do those things. Now, again, it depends on where where Gemini falls in your chart to know how Mars will affect you. But really, this is a focus on friends, social circles, and communication. Again, communication. On that day on Friday, we're having another repeat, a Venus square Saturn. Now that already happened on April 8th, and now it's happening again April 21st, Friday. That is a sign. Now I just said that's going to be a social day and oh my God, go out and all those things, but that's not a day that's ideal or good for romance. In fact, that can be a time where we want to be alone or with our friends and not really with a lover or partner. Or maybe our lover or partner is busy right now or unavailable in some way. And so sometimes it also has us wanting to deepen a commitment or deepen a partnership because Saturn is commitment oriented. But usually a lot of times people feel lonely, disconnected, blown off. Worst case scenario, your partner blows you off, or that person you're dating suddenly goes MIA. That's the type of thing that happens with this. But we'll get over it. Well, it's just a temporary thing. That's on Thursday going into Friday, that's going to be an active energy as well. So the last thing, we end the week with a very Pisces. Saturday is a really low-key day. So that's a great day to plan to do outdoor stuff or to see a movie or some kind of thing like that. It's very, very low-key. We need a low-key day because these other days are really astrologically busy. So we've had a very busy week. And so really meditating on that, on all these communication lessons. With Mercury being retrograde, that's what we're supposed to be doing anyway, is thinking about how we communicate. Do we communicate effectively? And if not, what can we do to be more clear? Sometimes it's not about using more words. Sometimes it's also about using less words more concisely. So anyway, I hope you enjoy these astrological updates with Gretchen Hidell. Feel free to subscribe here at my YouTube channel. And I'm on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And I do these little astro tidbits every day. They're 1-minute videos. I figure people are really busy right now. So 1 minute, if that's all you have, then you can just check in for 1 minute with Astro Tidbits with Gretchen Hidell. Anyway, enjoy. Blessings to you, and I'll see you next week.